Parents. This is a drastic step, a world first, and one that's being watched closely around the world. This morning, millions of young Australians under the age of 16 waking up to this ban that means they are not supposed to be able to access social media. It applies to all the major platforms: Facebook, TikTok, X, Reddit, YouTube, Snapchat. And the ban was passed by Australia's Parliament. It will not punish kids or parents for using social media for breaking the ban. Instead, the onus will be on social media platforms. They will be expected to impose things like checks on government ID, facial and vocal recognition technology, also to be used to try and verify people's ages. If they don't do that, the tech companies could face fines of up to $32 million. I think.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. But you see, what taking place here, and these are things that we have been speaking about, a couple of my videos I mentioned the same thing, so it's basically from the age of 16 go down, children wouldn't be able to access social media, alright, and it does like YouTube and whatnot, and this is taking place in Australia, right? And the tech, as they say, the tech country, you call them, the tech medias and them will be fined, a couple of millions, right? And it is showing you that Esau is getting ready to bring forth his digital system. He's basically prepping people in the world today for that digital system, right? Which is going into what the MOTB, the mark of the beast, right? I'm gonna go back a little bit here.
Media platforms, they will be expected to impose things like checks on government ID, facial and vocal recognition technology.
Yeah, the kind of technology they're looking to come with, right? Facial technology, vocal technology. Look at that. I didn't even know that part, but a matter of fact, you saw it. I saw that in this movie with Ice Cube. A movie just recently came out. Wars of the World. Go and check that movie out. Plenty people bash the movie and say it was, it was poor editing and whatnot, but it's not the editing and the looks of the movie, is the message that it was given in the movie, all right, and it was very spiritual, right? But they show you that Ice Cube had to speak, he had to show his face, and that face recognition it had to show first, and then he had to basically say his name, right? So listening to your voice and whatnot. So yeah, they show the things in the movies and then they bring it to pass, right? It's showing you basically what is coming. Right, we just jump to the scripture here. Hey, 144 on the screen. John 8 and 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him." Right? And this part here is a point that I want to get to. Right? When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Right? And Esau is known to bring forth devices and whatnot and try different angles to basically fool Jake, right? Because in the Garden of Eden, right, with Eve and the serpent, which was a man, right? What the serpent did, he beguiled Eve, right? He make Eve believe in the things that he was saying, right? By giving you a little bit of truth, also with a lot of lies, right? And this is the way how Esau operates. So going back to the video, which I have two more here to show. This is about my Babakasha.
Also to be used.
Right? They're looking forward to do what? To stop, to bring forth, to stop the youths from using the phone and, coming out like telling you things like we preventing them from being harmed on social media, from watching certain things that happening around the world and whatnot. What Esau really trying to do also is he's trying to stop this truth from getting out there. He's trying to protect the younger ones, because the younger ones, they are more simple minded, right? They will easily get picked up like that, right? So Esau will tend to use certain tactics to come out and say, hey, this is what I really want to do with this device here. I don't want the children using this, because they will be able to, they will be, if they use it, they will be sidetracked, or they could be harmed, right? What they did with the pandemic, they told people to take the Maxine Waters, right, to protect their loved ones. And when people did take it, where are they now? Right? They are unalive, right? They're in the spirit realm. It's the same tactic these devils are using today, right? With the technology, with the technocracy, right? So let's look at our next video here.
Parents around the world are watching Australia, where a landmark social media ban for young teenagers started today.
Millions of accounts were deactivated, with the tech companies on the hook for enforcing the ban. Here's senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent.
In the land down under, millions of kids' social media profiles are going dark today, as Australia's new social media ban takes effect for anyone under 16.
Our social media ban is about making sure kids have a childhood. It's not going to be perfect, but it's too important.
10 of the biggest social media platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat, have been ordered by Australia's eSafety Commission to block children.
All right, so you heard what the man say, they're trying to stop them from being on these sites, so they could be children again, like, going outside and play and all these different type of things, right? Which they basically, Esau created a monster, but then trying to prevent the monster from being a monster, right? What do you think is going to happen? All right, people are going to rebel, right? People are going to rebel. And this is what Esau wants. He wants people uneasy. He wants people to reach that point where they being disobedient and so forth. They coming against the system. All right? Esau is trying different ways. He's attacking young and old, right? Rich and poor, free and born. This is who he's attacking. All right?
Or face a fine of up to $33 million, while gaming and messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Discord, and Roblox are still available.
All right, so you make sure and get them games to play, right? And most of these games also, they create, it's things to keep you you know, is to also keep you in a bubble, right? Is to keep you in a bubble. Because where this truth is be coming out, it is be coming out in all these different platforms.
Important.
10 of the biggest social media platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and
Right? The truth here is hear the truth on the TikTok, and here is also hear the truth on the main one, which is YouTube, right? And then it have other channels that you will, you know, social media sites that you might go upon, and you will hear the truth here and there, right? But the whole thing about it, Esau wants to prevent this truth from getting out there, you know. But what the scriptures say, you can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth, right? Let's see if I can get that. Second Corinthians 13 and verse 8. It says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, right? So you can't do anything against the truth, Esau, but for the truth, right? All these different things that he's trying to do, you know, bring forth farming of the word and whatnot, you know. It's going to happen. These things are going to happen, right? And it's to do what? To push his digital system. It's to push his MOTB, right?
Snapchat have been ordered by Australia's eSafety Commission to block children or face a fine of up to $33 million, while gaming and messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Discord, and Roblox are still available. The sweeping law will be a major lifestyle change. 95% of Australian kids 13 to 15 used social media last year.
As young Australians, we will be completely silenced and cut off from our country and the rest of the world with this ban.
And, you know, showing you that how they know how many people, how many children using these platforms and whatnot. They just come out and what was another lie he saw this tell, that they don't read and monitor you on your platform, right? That's a big lie they just come out with. They just come out and say these things that they don't do. These platforms don't do that. But how do you know that all these young people just be on these platforms? All right? How you know that? How you could have a number? It's because why? He have been lying to you people. He have been showing you in your face that he have been setting traps for you. He has been doing his thing behind closed doors, right? With the camera in the front of your phone, you know, every time it's always looking at you. Camera behind, also looking out, right? He so could access all these things. The AI technology that you're downloading on your phone to play around with, he so could be taking it in from there also, right? To understand the lies that this devil is push.
The U.S., some lawmakers have been pushing for additional regulation of social media platforms too. And some states are now rolling out age verification requirements for kids to download them.
This new law in Australia is a game changer.
The critics out there say, look, it should be incumbent upon parents and families to be regulating social media usage for their kids. What's your response to that?
There's no question that there's an important role for parents, but the truth is these are the most powerful, wealthiest companies in the history of the world. The platforms are addictive, and so we obviously need common sense regulation and guardrails.
Australia's eSafety Commission says that many of the 10 social media platforms will estimate or verify users' ages by evaluating online activity like a video selfie, for example, or in some cases do an ID check. Here in the U.S., some platforms already are offering age estimation and teen accounts, but these methods aren't foolproof, and those child online safety advocates say more is necessary to keep kids safe.
And this is what they keep pushing, safety, peace, right? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, right? And this is what happening. It's all kind of different things he's all coming up with, right? He's just making rules as he go along. You think so? This devil already have everything written down and place how it is he wants it to play off, right?
Millions of Australians won't be able to watch this video on social media.
From December 10, if you're under 16, you're no longer allowed to have a social media account.
This is a world first. The first time a policy like this has been tried anywhere. So will it work, and will other countries copy it? Well, 10 platforms say they will use age verification technology and suspend accounts of anyone who they believe is under 16. And the Australian Prime Minister hopes that'll be enough to get kids off their phones.
Start a new sport, learn a new instrument, or read that book that has been sitting there on your shelf for some time.
And
they will speak those smooth words, things that you want to hear, and say, hey, these are the things that if we try this, you know your children will be safer, they will be they will read a book more, they will do this, they will do that, right? These are the things that Esau comes out with, right? But really and truly, he has agenda behind it. All right. This is the book of Psalms 64 and verse 5. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter, right? They commune in lying snares. These snares goes into what? Traps, right? Privily, right? Meaning what? Privately. They say, who shall see them? Right? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep, right? Their mind is very deep, right? And guess what? Their mind is, someone's mind is very wicked, right? This is how this devil is. Esau Edom is a very wicked man. Alright? We could go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse 9. It says, the heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? This is how Esau mind is. Alright? He will come out with smooth words. Alright? His words are what? Softer than oil. Right? Let's get that. Softer than oil. Right? Psalms 55 and 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right? But war was in his heart, meaning his mind. Remember, we just read the mind is desperately wicked. Right? This is how Esau mind is. Alright? He's desperately wicked. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. What the man was speaking. Let's go back here.
Polling shows
A new sport, learn a new instrument.
it will use age verification technology and suspend accounts of anyone who they believe is under 16. And the Australian Prime Minister hopes that'll be enough to get kids off their phones.
Start a new sport, learn a new instrument, or read that book that has been sitting there on your shelf for.
Right? And it's showing you, look, they're trying to do what? Push these children to do certain things. Right? Where it is they was to do that at the beginning. But again, they will come out with lies. They will come out at Salakia with with a little bit of truth, but with a lot of lies, because you're not seeing what it is the real agenda is. The real agenda is to bring that one world government, that one world order, right? That control upon people, right? Psalms 55 and 21 again, it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. So they will bring out the heavy weaponry and whatnot, the digital system, all right, the cashless system. You want to continue in this world, you have to participate with their stuff, all right. That's why when they draw that MOTB to take, that's where you draw that line, all right, and you hold that faith. The hour of temptation is coming very soon, and you have to be mindful of it. Keep in prophecy, keep watching at what's taking place. Understand we are at the end of this wicked generation today. All right. So we'll end it there. Lord willing, this lesson here was edifying to the elect of Israel. Wasn't nothing too long, just straight to the point. Just highlighting what's taking place in the world today. All right, and understanding how far we in to the end of this devil age. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect. Shalom and Abad Babal.